Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name is Zach, otherwise known as Pulpy Syntax, and today we're going to be looking at Foodie Beauty. Today I've had a great day. I had a very successful day at work. We did some photography, we worked with the kitchen a little bit. I had quite a few finger sandwiches. That's just a little perk of the job today. But it's a little overcast and miserable, so I thought, why not sit down and do a little video? It seems people are enjoying these. As a note, this afternoon I have ticked over into 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy. 1,000 people want to hear what I have to say. That's mad, and rad, and great, and I'm finding it hard to put words to it. So thank you all so much to everyone who enjoys this, and thank you all for having discussions down below. I love to jump into them. Today we're going to be looking at a video that got uploaded just a couple of hours ago as of time of recording, which is Miss Chantal Marie, Miss Foodie Beauty's Burritos and Chips Mukbang and Storytime Part 1. What caught my eye with this is that it's not pizza or it doesn't, like, it looks like she may have made this herself. We will find out. Pardon me. And it says part 1. Why does it say part 1 in the video? Is this a rebrand including story time? Is it a 2-part video? Does something happen at the end? I don't know, but I'm interested in finding out. So with all of that being said, let's get into the video. We're sped up to 1.25 times. I do have my Fitness Pal open just in case she's bought this from somewhere and we can be a bit responsible for what we're eating, right? Yep.
Hey guys, hey, how are you?
I'm good, Chantal.
Welcome back to another video today.
Thank you. You look quite good. Sorry to interrupt you, but I do that a lot. This is a cute look.
I have a mukbang for you, or let's just eat dinner together, whatever you want to call it.
You called it a
I'm so
mukbang.
excited.
So.
I made some homemade burritos. I was craving a mucho burrito from Mucho Burrito.
Serendipity. Wasn't my last video her sitting in a car 3 years ago eating a mucho burrito? Wasn't it? It was! Chantal, if you're watching, talk to me. I'd like to help you as much as I could.
Which is a big ass burrito, even
she's
bigger
not
than this. But these are the biggest tortilla I could find. So I made my own burritos, and I'll show you what's inside in a minute. And I have some blue corn Tostitos with some salsa, fresh salsa, sour cream. And yeah, I have another burrito here that I made, but it kind of opened and fell apart. So
wait, so she made 2 burritos of this size. That's a lot. Like, even not counting anything, just looking at that, that's a lot. Also, mukbangs are really hard to do calorie counts for. Again, not a nutritionist, just happened to lose weight by counting food that I was eating. The problem is, it's so, like, the perspective is so close, right? That, that looking at this ramekin, I don't know if this is like 4 tablespoons of sour cream or like 8 tablespoons of sour cream, right? And it doesn't help that, like, yeah, the proportions of everything in this frame just are really difficult to understand. But while she talks,
yeah, I'm gonna start with this.
I'm gonna look at.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is, and then I'm gonna talk about, like, I'm gonna try to do a story time. I'm not sure if you guys are gonna enjoy the content, but if you don't, let me know. And as long as some of you like it or enjoying it, or the majority of you, I will keep talking about it. If not, I'll try to find other topics. But yeah, so let's start by opening up this burrito.
Is she gonna tell me what's in that? I'll just make it.
Man, I've had the same song in my head forever. You ever hear that song? I'm sure you have. Band on the run. Anyway, if you haven't, well, oh, it's watery because of the sauce. Beanie bite. So in here I have seasoned chicken taco meat, just with the packaged seasoning.
Okay.
Cheese, Tex-Mex cheese, guacamole, salsa, sour cream, cilantro, and green Tabasco. So
won't count. I won't count some of those things, so that's fine.
I'm hungry.
But from my understanding, she has this burrito in front of her. She has a burrito that has opened beside her that she indicated to her left. She has a couple of fistfuls of blue corn Tostitos, right? That's not a common brand here in Australia, or at least the name isn't. And then salsa and sour cream. Her burritos are obviously the tortilla, chicken taco meat, Tex-Mex cheese, guac, salsa, sour cream. Right. I'll do some math off to my right while this is going on.
Oh my god. That leaked everywhere. So,
yeah,
to be safe,
liquidy.
I'm going to do this because I don't want to have taco seasoning all over my chest. All right.
You got to make that stuff like a bit dry. Otherwise it'll run everywhere, right? It's got nowhere to go. Like a burrito is basically, it's got its own wrapping and casing. So you'd have to have quite a lot of liquid in that. Maybe my suggestion would be if you were going to cook your chicken, like cook it, like overcook it a little bit, just so that you get enough moisture out of it that you're not then just like pouring the slop into a wheat tortilla.
Toasted as well. Okay.
So she's got to have like a sandwich press or something. Maybe. I don't know. I'm taking that a bit too far. It looks really good though. I haven't had a burrito in a while. And currently this week I have looked at 3 of Foodie Beauty's videos that feature Mexican. Oh.
Love cilantro, and I used to hate it. So, I was thinking of doing a story time.
Okay.
Series like I had mentioned before, and I just forgot to do it.
There's so much to do and only so little time. Yeah. I will try to get photos. What? Of what? Story time?
By the way, this is my hair.
I don't wear wigs. Well, she does, but...
About my experience when I went away for almost a year, traveling around Canada. Oh. I've had some experiences.
When was this?
So it's probably going to be a longer storytime series. I think so. Depends how much I remember and how much I embellish, which I will try to do. There's a bit of everything in these stories.
Okay, guys, I am trying to get myself comfortable clearly. I don't understand the premise of story time videos. Who was I watching? Was it Def Noodles yesterday? Maybe. He was reporting on some drama about a big YouTuber basically stealing word for word a much smaller channel's story time and playing it off as her own, and giving no credit where the credit for the story lay. What's the point in listening to other people like tell stories that have nothing to do with them? I guess if you enjoy the content maker and you find their voice calming or their dulcet tones soothing, like maybe, I guess, but isn't it much more interesting to hear like the perspective of an individual rather than a secondhand story? Like, yeah, secondhand, third hand, like, anyway. Oh, ow.
So, I'll start from the beginning, okay? All right, so basically just a bit of a background.
Very good place to start. Julie Andrews. Musical quotes. I'm winning.
I guess we could call it prefatory matters. Bit of a background. I love pickled jalapenos. And what my life was like at the time and what provoked me to want to go away. The program was called Katimavik. It's a youth volunteer program. And you get to travel around. You apply to be part of the program. You get to travel around. It's government funded. They give you like $21 a week allowance, which went on cigarettes. And you go to 3 different provinces and do volunteer work and community work.
I think I've got something here. Maybe.
Basically a program to show that youth are not just all a bunch of shits. Okay.
Katimavik, sorry about pronunciation, offers young adults opportunities to gain life skills and work experience while contributing to community development through volunteerism. Oh, that's great. Since 1977. Youth become engaged, caring citizens, and capable contributors and leaders for a better Canada. Do this through the development of 21st century skills, experiential learning, and civic duty. Okay, work. Well, while she tells the story, I'm going to read.
I needed that. Because at the time in my life, 17 going on 18, I was a little shit.
Your words.
I was just angsty, unsure about the future, not getting along with my mom at home. Was actually sleeping on a friend's couch, literally, my best friend's couch.
I've asked questions about Chantel's relationship with her mother before, so this is a little bit of interest.
Still getting fed by my mom though, but this was, hey, I didn't want to be at home because I hadn't been at home since 16. I wanted my freedom. I wanted to experience, I just didn't want to have anyone tell me what to do. I was one of those.
That's fair. I left home at 17 after I graduated to go on to study at university. So I feel that. And since we're now at 1,000 subs, I will be doing a video with a little bit more of my backstory and my history and more about me and less about Chantel and Amber. But my dad worked night shift. My mum was a nurse working in central Queensland. I didn't live in central Queensland, so she was basically 12 days away, 2 days at home. And I think I was maybe 15 when that started. So I grew up to be pretty independent pretty quickly. I was still living under their roof for another 2 years, but yeah, it taught me some basic life skills, I guess, without my parents being in a situation. So I kind of understand this, although I did still have a family home, but go on.
Still kind of like that. So, I was living on my friend's couch, and I still made sure to go to school. It was in advanced classes, got straight A's.
Okay, cool. What were your favorite?
I was very ambitious. I wanted to go to university.
A bit to unpack there. Or is that some self-reflection in those eyes? Just thinking that I was quite ambitious and I got good grades and I wanted to go and study. Sometimes when we reflect on where we are and what our intentions were when we were younger, it can be a bit confronting.
So, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And then one day, this girl, a Katimavik representative, came to our school. We were called to the library, and she did a presentation. And she was handing out brochures for the program.
Nice.
And at first I was like, nah. And honestly, I don't remember what changed my mind into wanting to do it. It might have been because she said at the end, if you complete it, you get $1,000. And I'm just like,
Oh, Foodie, sorry.
And a plane ticket to anywhere you want to go.
That's great. I haven't been paying attention. You got a little something.
Back home, somewhere else. Some people in the program became so inspired by the traveling and by the new them that they decided to just go somewhere else and keep traveling. I wanted to go home because I was, I miss my family, Made me appreciate my family more too.
Yeah, I guess I could see how that would work. I essentially went from one city to a bigger city, studied for 3 years, and then stayed in the bigger city. And that's the way that worked for me. There was international travel, obviously, in there. That's not happening now with COVID, but I was very fortunate to do quite a few weeks overseas, and I've seen a fair amount of the beautiful country I call home. But there's plenty more to see. But sorry, Chantel, I keep interrupting.
I'm drinking ice water. And since it's a mukbang,
I'm drinking
I'm
sparkling
talking
water.
in between the eating.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
So,
the only thing missing on the burrito is cilantro lime rice.
yeah.
I could have made some. Anyway, so I know this mix doesn't look like what it is.
Looking at this food, I'm
No one I believed,
ballparking.
no one I told about it, that I wanted to go when I made up my mind, really believed that I would get accepted, or that I would. You had to fill out like I think if I remember correctly, I had to fill out like a questionnaire, like why you want to do this, and you know, they ask you like questions like that.
Yeah, to make sure you're not wasting their time. I
remember just really selling myself.
That spot's starting to.
I just had a feeling it was something I was meant to do. It was something that would change my life, and it really did that. It really did that. So I applied, waited for the response, and I got in, obviously.
Allegedly.
I was so, like, I felt like I won the lottery. My friends were bummed out. Because
I'm so sorry. I'm reading the Wikipedia overview of Katimavik. Oh, I'm butchering that. I'm so sorry. One of the notes in here states that each youth volunteers for at least 30 hours per week and completes a learning program that focuses on Canada's official languages, eco-stewardship, leadership, cultural diversity, and healthy living. And I laughed.
Especially my best friend. My really best friend.
I'm trying to be nice.
I had a couple best friends at the time. But they, like, my really best friend that used to just, like, be at her house 24/7.
Is this the one whose couch you were sleeping on?
She wrote me a letter. I wish I still had it. I don't know if I do somewhere. Just how sad she was going to be, memories we had together. And it was nice. She actually came. I had to take a Greyhound bus really early in the morning. Like 5 a.m. And my mom and my best friend, that's when she gave me the letter when I got on the bus. And they were both crying. And I remember sitting in the dark bus and watching them cry as I'm going away. And back then I didn't realize it as much, but now I'm like, I was really loved.
Yeah. Reflections, right?
You know? And
yeah, I mean, I think everyone as a younger person, let me rephrase it. I think as you get older, you realize there are pivotal moments in your youth where you do recognize just how important you as an individual are to your friends and family. And in my experience, as you grow older, those opportunities of recognition come less and less, especially, well, I'm only speaking really from my experience here, but I don't see my family all that often. My parents, I think I've seen twice this year, and that's not even really exceptional due to COVID. Usually I'll see them no more than 4 times. The grandparents who I have remaining, I really don't see. I think the last time I saw one of them may have been 5 years ago. So family's really important. But I guess it's an individual basis on how reliant you are on that need for family, because it is so healthy to have. But unfortunately, not everyone's lucky enough to kind of have it. So reflecting on the good times, I guess, in regards to family when you're younger, like sometimes that catches me up too. Just being like, oh, I remember like telling my parents not to come to my university graduation because I didn't want to go either, and I didn't end up going. But I remember how proud they were at my high school graduation. So yeah, I mean, those create some nice feelings, I guess. So at least she's got that going on for her, which is great. While eating a burrito.
I mean, I still am, but when you're a teenager, sometimes you don't feel loved, enough. Maybe because you don't love yourself. Becoming like getting into your own is, coming of age or whatever. It's just a really hard process.
Harder for some.
So.
Sure. Haven't been a teenager for a while, but I mean, it was rocky. But I think I
was on the bus. So the first destination, I was nervous. I was like, as I was leaving, I was already kind of homesick. I was like, I'm making a mistake. I was so I'd never been away from home that long at that point.
But didn't you say you were staying on someone's couch? What? I'm confused.
And I'm the type of person who gets homesick easy.
Again, you were staying on someone's couch.
So
maybe
I thought I'm gonna stick it out. I'm
confused. Sorry, guys.
the catch was I was in the middle of high school. So whenever I got back, the following year I would have to resume school.
Okay. This article I'm reading says ages 17 to 25. That may have changed since she went. Or she may... I don't know how Canadian high school works and the age ranges that varies, but 17 to 25 seems like you'd be pretty much finishing up high school. At least here in Australia. I finished when I was 16. Yeah. And then... Yeah, so I moved when I was 16 turning 17. That year right after high school. Just keep bringing it back to me.
And be behind, but it was worth it. I still got to graduate high school.
Oh, so you take like a gap year. Is that it? She's not telling the story very well.
So I'm on the bus.
Okay.
The bus trip was going to be like a few hours. It was like, my first destination was still in Ontario. And I was kind of like, Ontario? I'm from Ontario. And we didn't get to know each location until near the end of our term in the current location, so it was always a surprise. I was hoping to go to like BC or something, but
there was a military option in the 80s.
I ended up going to a small town, really small town, in Mattawa.
Pays for all travel and living expenses. Okay.
Ontario. It's a town near North Bay. It's colder, more snow. It's more north. Really nice town though, very small. Had one main street, one main drag, very small population.
Oh, that looks great. Very small. Man, our small towns do not look like that. Well, the small towns I've lived in do not look.
When the bus arrives,
more dust out my way.
It lets me off at a corner. There's a phone booth and a gas station, and I remember going right to the phone booth. And calling my mom.
Good. Let her know you're safe.
Collect. And she talked me out of giving up. And that was the only time, actually, I had a panic episode and real homesickness to the point where I wanted to leave. After that, I integrated myself and allowed myself to realize that this is my life for the next 7 or 8 months, or I can't remember how many months it was. I think it was 7.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, you signed up for this. It seemed like they had a pretty good selection process.
Basically.
Still, like, a rough thing for a teenager to make a decision on.
It was winter. It was cold. There was like a snowstorm. The house leader came to pick me up. Our house was like down the street, not even like 2-minute walk. I didn't know where it was, so she picked me up. She was picking everybody up when they would arrive. It depends how they were coming in and how they would get there. But some people were coming in from Newfoundland, BC, everywhere. Alberta, so some people would be getting there late.
Does this story have a point, Foodie? Sorry, but...
We got to the house.
Okay.
This house, on the outside, looked like an older, kind of rundown, run-of-the-mill, crummy kind of house.
She has the biggest... The biggest issue with any house that is not a mansion, I feel. Because she always, like, calls places shitholes or just, like, crummy or rundown. And they really don't, like, they don't seem that bad. Her old apartment, she, like, went off on. But it seemed like, Foodie, come live in a 100-year-old worker's cottage, please. Like, our walls are, like, cracked and warped, and our plumbing is older than me. Like, no, okay, I don't take that I don't take any of that with any
Come to find out,
clarity.
it was rumored the house was haunted.
Clarity? It's another word I'm trying to
find. The man who lived there before hung himself in the basement.
Oh, Joy. Did they put that on the brochure?
And he was slowly going, like, he suffered from severe mental illness. And the house was painted odd. Like, he had added this weird attachment to the house, which was where we ate our dinner. And it was always freezing. And he painted every room just weird colors. So.
Okay.
I want some of this burrito, but I don't want to, like, it's so messy.
You're gonna eat the whole thing.
I'm gonna eat it with a knife and fork, some of it.
Just eat all of it, it's fine. You've made it, you're gonna eat it. Well, you tell this pointless story, oh my god, is this the first time I'm seeing that fork? I hate that fork. That fork is a salad serving fork. No. Just use a normal sized fork, please. It's so much.
Just some of it.
So much healthier.
Anyway.
Like, where's the forks to go with your steak knife?
You know what I'm saying?
It's okay.
Yeah, so it was a really weird house.
Yeah, I don't believe any of that actually happened if she did this program at all, but sure.
I don't really remember who was already there. But people were arriving. You're in a house with 12 other youth, ages 17 to 21.
I've got 25 on my
One guy was from Quebec, very French. 2 guys were from Quebec. One was a really funny jokester. He was the jokester of the bunch. Oh my god. Happy-go-lucky, couldn't be bothered with drama. The other guy from Quebec had a really...
Can you give us an example of this jokester's jokesterness? Or are we just, like, prattling off character synopsis? I don't believe the story, guys.
Big crush on him at one point because he was so cute.
Critical audience member.
And he was very quiet, you know, and mysterious and laid back and had really nice blue eyes. There was another really funny, jokey guy. Bigger dude.
Okay, so this is a comedy movie.
And he was like...
With John Candy as the bigger guy.
But he was a drama queen. You know. There were some I didn't get along with very well, and there were some people I did.
Okay.
The one girl that was my best friend was from Newfoundland. And her Newfie accent was so funny. I just loved her. She came in and right away she was like, "Hey guys," and just like full of life, you know. I still talk to her.
Sure.
Here and there.
You know, it'd be great, actually, thinking about it. I understand because if I was ever going to sit down and do a story time, I probably wouldn't be able to have evidence about my stories. Like, I wouldn't have a lot of photography and stuff because it's just not the person that I am. But wouldn't it be great if there was some form of evidence to support a pack of jokesters in a potentially haunted house when they're all 17 to 21?
One girl was from...
Definitely not an 80s movie.
Saskatchewan.
Sure.
She was always talking about Saskatchewan.
Mm-hmm.
She was really nice. Always happy, and it got on my nerves. It got on my nerves once in a while. I know it shouldn't, but I don't know. I guess I was miserable. I don't know.
I'd ask, was miserable?
And she like... There was another girl who was from BC, and she was like environmentalist, like typical tree hugger. You know.
She's collecting them all.
Vegan. Was always giving me shit for things. Not just me, but everybody. She was nice, though. I got along with her. Sometimes I would get mad at her preaching, but she just let it slide.
What is this story? Is she just telling us about this group of people?
Then there was another girl. She was funny. Very happy-go-lucky girl from Quebec. Didn't speak, like, any English, hardly. And
is this the introduction to the series of episodes she's going to do? This is not how you do an introduction. As someone who has a small amount of experience in creative writing, this is not how you introduce your characters. You don't just exposition. I don't care what format you're doing it. She's just told us a very brief description about this program that she's done, the fact that she was upset that they were staying in a shitty house where someone had hung themselves and had weird paintings and weird extensions, and now she's introducing us to her cast, of which she hasn't really given any description apart from this person annoyed me, this person was vegan, this person was happy, this person was a jokester, and we have a big drama queen. Like, yes, that is how it is an option to how you introduce characters, right? But like, you do it a lot better. And storytelling, I would argue sitting here and talking is a little bit less skilled than, like, being a vocal storyteller is a little less skilled than actually being an accomplished writer in any regard. So, anyway,
sure.
Being pedantic. Sorry, guys.
Then we have this guy. He was a rich, like his parents were doctors.
How many were there?
Loaded. It's kind of nerdy looking, but he became a published author, like a published crime author.
Oh yeah.
So he's doing very well for himself.
Is this from one of his books?
I'll sometimes talk to him.
Oh sure, yeah.
Well, I used to, but not lately.
No.
Who else was there? Oh, and the one guy I really didn't get along with.
I'm gonna have to draw a mud map
like,
if I follow.
Everyone was like a stereotype. He was like a geek stereotype. And I don't mean this to say anything mean about these people, because I loved them by the end of this program. Like, they were family, even though we didn't get along, some of us. But he would like go outside and like sword fight, lightsaber fight with himself, and wore like sunglasses in the day, like to try. He was just like weird.
Wow. And
I didn't get along with him at all. I don't know what it was. We just rubbed each other the wrong way.
I don't know. You know what? If some kid wants to wear sunglasses at night and go outside and pretend to sword fight, I probably wouldn't be so much of a judgmental individual to think that the person out there making joy for himself is annoying. Leave him alone. Let him do his thing. It's fine. It's not affecting you in any way.
Some of the people were more woke than some of us.
This is from a film, guys. In the comments below, please, can we predict what mid-80s film she is talking about here? Because I can't take it seriously.
Off each other, you know?
I keep wanting to go back to like Breakfast Club.
We arrived at the house.
But it'll be a horror movie, because there'll be a ghost involved about the dude who hung himself.
And
in winter, maybe.
I took to this girl from Newfoundland right away.
Do you want to give these characters names? Becky.
And the girl from Quebec.
Alright.
The other two, Saskatchewan girl. And
Becky is from Newfoundland. Sarah is from...
For me, you're probably wondering, well, what kind of stereotype were you?
I'm going to... Guys, I don't care. I'm going back through this and I'm writing down, 1, the plot, and 2, writing down the character synopsis. So that when we get Storytime Part 2, I can revisit it and call any of it out. I don't believe this!
That's a good question, because...
What is this story?
I don't know if I'm just not able to see outside myself.
Or you... My goodness.
I'm sure some people would come up with a few ideas. I guess I was the bubbly, chubby girl, because I was more chubby then.
Okay. Chantel?
Bubbly, chubby, chatty, party animal kind of girl.
Party girl. Right. And then there's Derek. He's the lightsaber guy.
Yeah, I would say that. So you're 12 of you. You're 12 people.
Simon will be the drama queen.
And there was another girl. She was the stereotypical mousy girl.
Mousy.
Very French. Didn't speak any English.
French.
Never understood
Claudette.
what we would say. Like, she would just... I tried speaking as much French as I could to her, but my French, I guess, wasn't very Quebec enough for her to, And she was so quiet. She barely spoke 2 words the whole 7 months. She was just kind of always like there. You almost forget about her. But she was very, very nice. Very timid, very shy. Oh, I want to give her a hug. And I think that's 12.
Oh god,
the house leader too was there.
12
there was somebody who like oversaw everything, supervised us.
House leader.
And there were rules, house rules.
Okay.
Every week, 2 people would be staying home from their job, volunteer job. We volunteered 40 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Sorry,
we had a career.
No, she said 40 hours a day, 5 days a week. She means 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. Surely. Well, yeah. Just go.
I'll get to that in the next video. I don't want to be too long in this video.
I don't mind. I'm interested now. Guys, I've managed to take this and find something interesting to do with it. Hooray!
You go for interviews and everything. There's like a little job fair for
everything is content.
And it was, I'll get to that next video, okay? But basically, sure. Our house leader and this one was special. She was like the veggie girl, even worse. Like when we got there, we were starving.
Yeah.
She made us something to eat.
There's a vegan.
And we were all like, it was literally, she made like a zucchini soup. It literally was like water for broth, a bunch of quinoa floating around, and zucchini in it. Had no flavor. And you know, I don't want to make fun of her because
you are.
Looking back in retrospect, she wanted us to feel welcome, and she really did something nice by making us a dish. But like, I really want a pizza.
Samantha's gonna be the vegan.
You had to cook everything. So 2 people would be the house people. Every day you had to bake bread. Somebody came in to show us how to make bread.
Bread made daily.
You had to do the weekly groceries. You had a budget of like $450 for 12 people.
$450.
You had to make everything, even ketchup. So you learn a lot.
Yeah.
Frugal and stuff.
That sounds great. Sorry, hard. What is the point of this program, and what is she doing for the community? Or is she just bunking with 12 strangers for 7 months?
A hard adjustment. And for a while, my friend and I, we would be sneaking food. I'll get more into that. We would go out and sneak food after dinner.
Where from?
So.
No? Okay.
We got there, we're tired.
Sure.
Hungry. We're fed zucchini and water soup.
I mean, like, it's probably not going to be great, but I find if you take a veggie soup that's pretty bland and throw it through a blender and add a fistful of salt, you're pretty much good to go.
And then, in our bedrooms, you just want to plunk down and relax after a long day of traveling. You're given tools, and there's a bunch of wood in your room. You have to make your own bunk beds. And I was like,
what?
Are you serious? Oh my god, I really complained.
Wouldn't they know about this though? Like, surely they're not like hustling kids into these programs to be like, well, surprise. You didn't know what to expect. And like, there's got to be duty of care for like parents to sign off on it. All of that stuff. What's going on?
I was like, seriously? Are you really going to make us do that? We all complained.
This fork.
Except the really happy girl. She's like, oh, this is going to be fun.
Can you give these characters names? Because I don't want to have to come up with them for you.
So, somehow we did it. All of us together.
I will though.
We did a pretty good job, and that would be my bed for the next, 3.5 months or whatever. 3 months. I had pictures up of my boyfriend at the time.
What was his name? Justin.
The next episode, I'll get into my boyfriend at the time.
Justin.
Other jobs. Okay. Well, that's it. That's all. I ate both burritos.
You did.
Yeah. So I think if there was rice and a lot of veggies, it would be a lot more filling. Because like if I got that mucho burrito, they put like beans, they put veggies, they put rice, all those carbs to make it very filling. This was just like meat, cheese, salsa and stuff, so it wasn't too bad.
I'll tell you.
So I guess that's it for this video. I hope you like this. Let me know if you like this little series. And if so, I will continue on. I will continue on, make it like a little mini series here and there. I won't do it like every single day, but whenever I'm doing these type of videos.
I'm interested.
So I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye, Chantel. Fabulous. Okay, so before I rewatch portions of that to figure out my my character synopsis, let's have a look at the presumed calories for this here. So obviously I don't have the best visual reference for weights. I have, however, just kind of based things on average serving sizes, and I think I'm pretty close. Okay, so I assumed approximately 24 Tostito chips, a whole butt ton of salsa and sour cream across the ramekin as well as both burritos. I'm counting everything. So I said 10 tablespoons essentially of both sour cream and salsa across the entire meal. Chicken taco meat, again, we're just basing things off generic entries because I don't have access to seasoning packets and things like that. That would be, there could have been elements of a cook with me in that video. So I approximated about 400 grams, 200 grams per burritos. They were pretty hefty looking burritos, and considering the last mucho burrito I reacted to 3 years ago was like 800 grams, I think that's fair. 2 containers of generic guacamole, Shorejan, some cheese, and that's about it. So, presuming I'm close on that, what we just watched was the consumption of over 2,000 calories, which is the advised average daily intake adult in Australia. Just saying. We had 154 grams of carbs, 112 grams of fat, and 143 grams of protein with just shy of 2,000 grams of sodium. That's probably incorrect considering the seasoning that happened there, but that's all neither here nor there. This is just an approximation and an assumption. That burrito actually looked quite good, if a little bit wet. I don't think the chips were required. I think if you're going to sit down and eat 2 burritos, you don't need sides with it. That's just my opinion. That's that on the food. I'll be back in a moment. All right, I'm back. I did a quick, I did a quick review of the video, and we have 12 characters in this part 1 story time. What is my life becoming? Okay, so in the rung from the top, we have the house leader, who we're going to call Sue. We then have 6 girls that Chantel has mentioned. So there's Chantel herself. She is defined as bubbly, life of the party, Chantel Foodie Beauty. We then have Samantha, who's from BC. She's a vegan, a tree hugger, and a little bit preachy. Sarah, she's from Saskatchewan. She's always happy, but she kind of gets on Foodie Beauty's nerves. Becky's from Newfoundland. She's her best friend. She comes in saying, "Hey guys," and she tends to be full of life. Victoria is funny, happy-go-lucky. How many times am I saying the same words? She's from Quebec though, so she hardly speaks any English, and they try to teach her a little bit. And then there's Claudette, who's the mousy French-Canadian girl. Moving on to the gentleman of the story, there's Derek, the geek stereotype who fights with a lightsaber by himself outside and has sunglasses inside. Simon, who's a bigger dude. He's kind of funny, but a bit of a drama queen. Jean, who's the jokester. Michael, who's cute, quiet, and has blue eyes and is pretty chill. He's also from Quebec. And Kevin, who has loaded parents. He kind of looks nerdy, and he's currently a published crime author. Anyway, that's how you introduce your cast of characters in all of 5 minutes. Great. I can't wait for part 2 so that we can revisit these characters whom I have decided require names, Chantel. Anyway, thank you so much if you got to this point in the video. As always, I appreciate your eyeballs, opinions, and comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.